What's up everyone, I'm Bills. Welcome to my channel. And today we're picking back up with...
We need to say our kip now.
With Planescape Torment. Thank you, Anna, for that rude interruption. Goodness. But yeah, so we're picking back up with Planescape Torment. We are here in the... I believe this is the Clerk's Ward. Yes, it is. And we're gonna get right into it. So let's get started.
I'm gone.
Okay. First things first, we need to head up to building, I believe it's, wait, no. It's not this one. Although I do need to go in there eventually. First, I need to head into this one, I believe. Yeah, the circular building. Yeah, this one. This is the one. So I need to pick up a companion here. Not... Okay, so
I'm gone.
It is a brothel, but it's not that kind of companion. Fall from Grace. Yeah, this is the one. Before you is a stunning golden-haired woman, dressed in an azure and violet dress, with two long, elegant wings draped across her shoulders. She is surveying the room with a slight smile. She is easily the most beautiful woman you have ever seen. Damn, okay. Greetings.
Well met, traveler. How may I help you?
Oh, hell yeah. You know she's important because she actually has some voice acting lines. The woman turns as you address her. She takes your measure, then nods slightly. You notice her eyes are azure, the exact same color as her dress. Well met, traveler. She reaches up to brush back a stray lock of golden hair. How may I help you? Who are you?
Updated my journal.
I am called Fall from Grace. She studies you for a moment. You are new to Sigil, are you not? Yes, I am. Does it show? She smiles slightly. Not as much as you might think. You carry yourself quite well. What is this place? This is the Brothel of Slating Intellectual Lusts. That's a name. She studies you for a moment. I take it by your question that you did not intend to partake of this establishment. Brothel of Slating Intellectual Lusts? What kind of brothel is this? I established this brothel to give those lustful fevers that strike the mind more avenues of expression rather than the simply carnal. Much pleasure can be had in conversation and engaging in the verbal arts with others. Oh, interesting. Okay. Sounds dull. Of course it does, Mort. I assure you it is not. Tour the brothel, see for yourself. So this is a brothel where there's no intercourse? Only of a psychological nature. Rest assured, it is still quite stimulating. I have to ask, why did you establish such a place? Fall from Grace raises an eyebrow. That is an odd question, she frowns. I don't think anyone has ever asked me that, at least directly. So why did you? Part of the answer to your question requires that you know that I am a member of the Society of Sensation. Our faction believes that one should experience as much of the multiverse as possible. And that is why you established this place? This brothel is intended to slate the lusts of even the hardened intellectual. It is designed to stimulate the mind, to heighten one's awareness of themselves and others, to create new ways of experiencing another person. It is for those who seek something more than the shallow physical pleasures that fill the hive and lower wards. Well, I wouldn't call them I mean, I can understand that. The women here must be special indeed. The women here are aspiring sensates. They have come to me in search of instruction, to prepare themselves to enter the faction. Also, many of them have a natural grasp of language that can shatter the crust of the most hardened individual. Sensates? She bows slightly. Yes. I'm a member of the Society of Sensation. Our faction believes that one should experience this... Oh yeah, surety. And the girls here are in training to be sensates? Yes. I hope that by learning the art of language and its subtleties, that the patrons and the students here may learn more about themselves. One is only as limited as their command of the language. To be able to employ language to evoke emotions in others is a tremendous skill. See, can I ask you some other questions? Yes. Who are you again? Those wings on your back, what are you? She's one of the fiends, one of the succubi she is. She'll take your measure, then she'll take your soul to the lower planes, so she's will. Your companion is correct. I am a lesser Tanari? Yeah. More specifically, a succubus. She gives a soft sigh. I'm afraid we're a little too common in the lower planes and elsewhere for our own good. Most of my race spend their time seducing mortals with various pleasures of the flesh. And you?
Updated my journal.
I'd like to think that I have distanced myself from that. It is ultimately a trivial and non-productive way for one to spend one's time here in the multiverse. There's much more to life, wouldn't you agree? Perhaps so. Have you ever heard of a night hag named Brothel? I'm familiar with the name. Fall from Grace pauses and thinks for a moment. Rumors cluster thickly about that name, and most tend to discount her as myth, but I suggest that she did exist, and that she made quite an impression in the cage during her stay here. She looks puzzled. Why do you ask? I intend to seek her out. Grace raises an eyebrow. Truly? I find myself compelled to ask why. I need information that she has. Is this information available from no one else? I suspect that only Brothel possesses the knowledge I need.
Updated my journal.
Grace rests her hand lightly on your arm. Consider this. If Brothel does indeed exist, then she is extremely powerful and cunning. If a fraction of the stories of her activities are true, then she is a creature that has discovered new meanings of evil. The search for her is not a quest to be undertaken lightly. I realize that. Do you know anything else about Brothel? She was said to be one of the hags of the Grey Waste, and that she was believed to possess powers and a cunning far beyond those of her sisters. She came to Sigil long ago, and in addition to the evils she committed during her stay, rumor has it that her actions threatened the cage itself. Now she primarily exists only as a fiction, a figure in children's stories. Grace pauses. I imagine that the Lady of Pain dealt with her as all threats to Sigil are dealt with. How?
Updated my journal.
Brothel was most likely sent to a maze, one of the lady's prisons. Mazes? What are those?
Updated my journal.
Grace places her hands together, thumbs and fingers touching, forming a rough circle. The lady is said to have the power to take pieces of Sigil. You watch in surprise as a ghostly image of Grace's little finger pulls itself from the hand and floats into the air, curling into a small circle and make a maze. The small ghostly circle floats in the air, then begins slowly rotating. The piece of sigil she takes holds the prisoner. There's no escaping being mazed. It can happen at any time, while walking down the street, through a door. She claps her hands, and then you are somewhere else. Inside the ghostly circle, you can suddenly see a flicker of movement, like someone walking inside. Grace continues, the tiny ghost maze reflected in her eyes. It is said that there is a portal that leads out of each maze, but they are difficult to find. Perhaps they are left in to give the prisoner hope. Perhaps they are left in to torture the prisoner. The ghostly maze dissolves. Perhaps it is both. I see. Can you tell me more about this plane that Brothel is from, the Grey Waste? A blighted plane that lies effectively between Batur and the Abyss. It is frequently a battleground in the Blood War. Huh. Is there anyone else who might know about her? Someone in the Fest Hall may know more of her.
Updated my journal.
Happened to Brothel? Oh yeah, I already asked her that, but interesting. Okay, can I ask you some other questions? Would you like to join me on my travels? Oh, yes. Anna stiffens, then starts muttering under her breath. Who's to say she'll be coming with us? We don't need the likes of her, so we don't. Or that fiendling. Mort clicks his teeth together. I'm all for the succubus coming with us. The powers know you're about as fun as passing a caltrop through your bowels. You best latch your bone box, Skull, or I'll rattle ye so hard that they'll be picking your teeth off the spire. Travel with you? Fall from Grace smiles slightly. She seems to be ignoring your companions. That's rather forward of you. That's the way I am. I appreciate your candor. I shall counter with some of my own. Why should I travel with you? Ooh. You're a sensate. Surely there must be a limit to how much you can learn here. I think you would be surprised. If you want me to accompany you on your travels, I need a far more compelling reason than that. Okay, that didn't work. Hold on. First then, let me ask her this. I came here looking for help so you can help me. Help? What kind of help were you looking for? I seem to have lost my memories. In so doing, I've lost myself. You have been stricken with amnesia. Fall from Grace looks pained. How terrible. Do you have any idea how it happened? Not really. At least not that I can remember. I woke up on a slab in the mortuary, and everything before that is black. You awoke in the mortuary? I think the dustman mistook me for being dead. Or I was dead, or something. All I know is that I regenerate wounds quickly. I could be immortal, but I don't even know that for sure. Fall from Grace seems to be appraising you with renewed interest. Those scars on your body. She reaches out a hand as if to touch you. May I? Yes. Fall from Grace drags her finger across your chest lightly, tracing the edges of your scars and following the curves where they blend into some of your tattoos. She seems fascinated. These scars do look as if they would have taken several lifetimes to accumulate. They certainly do, though some are more recent. Fall from Grace steps back. Some of those wounds would have been fatal to a normal man. She taps her chin, thinking. What do you intend to do now? I need to get my memories back, and my life back. I intend to scour the plains and search inside myself until I can piece together who I am and what brought me to this state. Fall from Grace is still thinking, her finger tapping on her chin. I must say, I've never met a man who had lost himself in the literal sense. She raises an eyebrow. Forgive me, but, your condition is intriguing. It is that. Yeah, let's just go with this. It is that. Fall from Grace nods. If it will help, you are welcome to tour the brothel. Several of our students are well versed in the verbal arts. Perhaps some of them will be able to rekindle your memories. I may do that.
Updated my journal.
Okay, alright, now that I've done all that, let me try asking her again. Yep, they have their back and forth. I mean, how exciting can this place be? Yeah, let me try that one then. I think you would be surprised. If you want me to accompany you on your travels, I need a far more compelling reason than that. You mean you wouldn't be interested in traveling with an immortal amnesiac who is searching the plains for himself? Okay, there we go. Oh, I would be extremely interested. She smiles slightly. Such a suggestion is intriguing. Make no mistake about that. Then you would like to travel with me, then? If you wish me to, then there is something you must do for me. There are 10 students in this establishment. I would like you to speak to all of them, then return to me with your thoughts. Then we shall see if we shall travel together or not. I'll go speak to them then. I'll return when I've spoken to all of them.
Updated my journal.
Woohoo! Okay. Okay. So now we go. Talk to the students. So we're gonna go to all the rooms, go in kind of like a clockwise motion. Armoire. As you make to search the armoire, its handle suddenly yank out of your grasp as the drawers slam themselves shut. A disdainful humph issues from the cabinet. Hello? Hello indeed, the armoire gives another humph. So what have we here? A rogue after some lady's frilly undergarments, You talk? Do I? Why, yes, I do. Who are you? I am Luis, and who are you? Thoughtless, uncouth fellow rummaging about in other people's things. Never mind that, what are you doing here? Well, sir, if you must know, I am being an armoire. But why are you being an armoire in this brothel? I happen to have become an armoire because I want to be an armoire, thank you very much. It's not to watch the ladies undressing, nor to have them place their soft, sweet-smelling undergarments in my drawers, where they can rub against my skin. Gross. Such accusations are an insult to a practitioner of the magic arts. I am merely soaking in the experience of what it means to be an armoire, the sights, the smells, the sensations. So all the women know about this then? Yes, yes they do, and they wholeheartedly approve of, well, not with their entire hearts exactly. And while they have not spoken of their approval in my presence, since they are not exactly aware that I am an armoire, I would not want them to know that I am anything but, and so have not been able to inquire upon the matter. Oh god, yep, this guy's a creep. I'll need something from you to keep quiet about this one. Very well, posh. Open the third drawer, you scalawag. As you reach your hand into the drawer, it slams shut on your fingers with great force. Searing pain races through your hand as you withdraw your battered fingers. Ha ha, cretin, idiots! Open the drawer, I said, and you reach in. He slams his drawer again for emphasis, then begins shaking with laughter. I'm going to tell them right now. First, I would tell you this one thing. I have been popping in and out of the brothel for a good long time. I'm quite knowledgeable regarding both its occupants and their activities. I assure you that talking about me is utterly worthless. Not only will you lose me as a potential source of information, but I'll simply disappear before someone comes to investigate your claims, leaving you looking the fool. Ooh, maybe I'll just chop you up for kindling then. You'll do nothing of the sort. Why, even the most common of men knows that one can't commit an act of violence within the brothel. You'll simply be cast out, and even if that were not the case, I assure you my command of the art is quite impressive. Fine then, I'll just go tell them about you. Okay, alright, whatever. Fuck this guy. God, he's creepy. Something about... Oh, there it is. It's like something about a chest, and... Oh, that's right. Okay, who has space?
What's up?
Mort, you have space?
Good as done.
Okay, apparently not.
Alright.
Yeah? Good as done.
Okay, there we go. Okay, we got Finnem's book, and now we're good. Okay, alright, so that's it for this room. Head into the next one. Okay, Juliet. Hello, Juliet. This dark-haired young woman is staring listlessly off into space, sighing miserably and occasionally picking at the seams of her green velvet gown. It's difficult to discern whether she's depressed or simply bored. Greetings. She gives you only the briefest of glances before staring off into the distance once more. Greetings, yes, I am named Juliet. How may I? Oh, never thou mind. Leave me be, please. She gives an exasperated sigh. What's wrong? Oh, nothing at all, only that I spend my days gazing into the face of mediocrity, seeing if anything can erase its dreadful, tedious passage. Is your life so tedious? Alas, it is, she sighs, closing her eyes and massaging her temples. Dreadfully boring. Perhaps I could make it... Ooh, actually, which one should I go with? Perhaps I could make it less boring for you, my lady. I'm certain I could... let's go with the first one. No. 'Tis kind of thee to offer, though. I'm already with a man, sir, and I do love him dearly. 'Tis just that I wish... She taps her finger against her chin. Something more of our liaison. Is the relationship lacking, then? The only thing it lacks is excitement, sir. Our families took the news of our courtship splendidly. His siblings love my siblings, and our friends think our union to be blessed by the powers themselves. All fine and good, but things are going, she frowns, so smoothly. 'Tis not right to have such a trouble-free courtship. I don't know about that. Dost thou not? Hast thou ever had such a courtship? She glances briefly at you. 'Twould seem that thy life is filled with a variety of problems, judging by the pallor of thy skin. I can't remember any courtships I have had. The remnants of the ones I have encountered suggest that I may have had some problems. 'Tis just that all my friends have such interesting relationships, ones fraught with turmoil, feuding families, daggers at one another's backs, poison, mad siblings, and irate fathers with large swords. I have a lover whose family loves me and whom the world loves. She sighs again. A great source of annoyance. How I wish I could formulate some way to spice things up. I feel like this is one of those instances where someone has so little wrong going on in their life that they have to make up drama just to keep things interesting. Mort floats close to you, whispering, I feel sorry for her lover. He doesn't know how bad he has it. Shit like this is nothing but trouble. That doesn't sound wise, Juliet. Relish what you have. I wish to experience troubles, though. I wish to experience the ups and downs of courtship. But with him, no other. She sighs. Ah, such a thing is love. It can be as dull as a club, and is of no use to an aspiring sensate. An aspiring sensate? Juliet exhales a long and forlorn sigh. You realize she's not even really looking at you. Juliet, did you hear me?
Updated my journal.
Oh, I was not truly listening, my apologies. But certainly thou hast not come simply to deliver a litany of questions on my life of tedium and my tedious doings. Okay, that's some questions. Okay, what? Okay, okay, so I have to go along this line. Okay, so what did you have in mind, Juliet? I'm not sure. Some element of danger, or jealousy. Something intense. Okay, so it's the second one. Because definitely not, why don't you have an affair? Definitely not going with that. And according to my guide, not good to go with. I can pretend to be a jealous suitor if you want. Yeah, let's do, why don't you make up some fake love letters from a hidden affair? Juliet's eyes brighten. Excellent notion, most excellent, she suddenly frowns. But he knows my handwriting. Wilt thou write some for me? Esther... Okay, yeah, I guess I gotta go with this then. Not my sort of thing. I can find you some, though. Oh, wouldst thou? Excellent. When thou dost find some, please give them to my love, Montague. Oh, it's literally Romeo and Juliet. It's Juliet, literally, and then Romeo was part of the Montagues. Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't realize that. He may be found within the Civic Fest Hall. As for the letters, please try Scofflaw Pen. He runs a print shop in the lower ward, I thank thee. Of course, farewell.
Updated my journal.
Whew, okay then. Alright. I think I can grab in here. Nope. Okay. Alright. On to the next. Actually, I'm supposed to ignore that and just go talk to Vivian. This tall, elegant woman with her sharp features and regal demeanor is a striking example of an aristocratic beauty. Her clothes appear to be spun of silver thread, and a small phial dangles from her necklace. She is perfumed with an exotic, erotic scent that seems to draw you towards her. Greetings. She looks you over, arching an eyebrow with what you sense to be disdain. Greetings, my name is Vivian. Am I to presume I am being summoned? No, I just had some questions. She nods imperiously. Go on, then. Okay. What's that incredible smell? She smiles at you. I thank you for your compliment, but I assure you this particular aroma is a bland and paltry odor in comparison to my personal scent. She sighs. Your personal scent? Yes, I have a particular scent that seems to have gone wandering. 'Tis somewhat difficult to keep in one place. I hope that someone did not take it by accident, though you never know. With the ladies around here, she frowns. So by any chance have you smelled it somewhere? How can a scent go wandering? Vivian shakes her head. I had meant to infer that it had been taken. The ladies here are a bit jealous at times, and have been known to take my various perfumes for themselves. This time, though, someone has absconded with my own personal scent. I worked on that scent, perfected it, and now poof, 'tis gone. I need not bear such annoyances. Vivian stomps her feet. I want that scent back, and I want it now! How would you know it if you found it? You would know it by smell, I assure you. 'Tis quite striking, especially to men. I can help you. Vivian seems dubious. Are you certain? I do not wish to impose. No imposition. I am pleased to help such a lovely woman as yourself.
Updated my journal.
Anna mumbles something angrily. You catch the words piking and itchet stick. Yeah, Anna's like, you fucking idiot. He's playing you. She's playing you. Vivian smiles and nods to you. You are too kind. Very well. If you run across it, please let me know. I'm somewhat anxious to get it back. A one-of-a-kind scent, really. Okay, anything else I need to ask her? Okay. Doesn't seem like it. First, though... nah, actually, that's good. Okay. Now to head into this room. And we need to talk to her, Nenny Nine Eyes. This petite, attractive young woman is smiling blissfully and humming to herself. Her wide, pale blue eyes seem to constantly drink in her surroundings as she looks about. Greetings. The smiling young woman curtsies gracefully and looks up to you, smiling. Well met, good sir. I'm Nenny. And how are you this fine She suddenly notices your scars and places a gloved hand over her mouth. Oh my, you're hurt, she blinks. All over. Mort spins around you, mocking the girl's obviousness. Powers above, Chief, she's right. I never noticed before. You're covered in scars. They're all old scars. I'm fine. She nods quietly, lowering her hand. I had some questions. Huh? She can't seem to tear her eyes from your scars. Oh, how shameful of me. Don't mind my rude staring. I am named Nenny. She makes a little curtsy. And it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our brothel for the slating of intellectual lusts. She returns to staring at your body. You have tattoos under those scars too. What's that one? She points to one of your tattoos. That one's... looks fascinating. Look at the way the lines of ink. I think that's ink. She squints at that tattoo, then reaches out to touch it. What should I do here? Okay, allow her to touch you. I think that's ink. She traces a finger around the edge of the tattoo. Is it ink? And what's a pattern? Look at the way the lines intersect here. She touches the center of the tattoo. That's simply amazing. She purses her lips and frowns in disappointment. I could make it out better if there weren't so many scars. There's nothing to be done about the scars. They're permanent. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Pox on me for even mentioning them, she cringes. But I have to know, are you absolutely sure you're alright? I'm looking at you and I can't help but believe you're not in some pain. I have amnesia, but that's all. Amnesia? Nenny blinks, then brightens. Loss of memory? You are so lucky, she chimes perkily. Everything must be so new to you. There is truth in that, but the newness is unwelcome. She blinks. That sounds so sad. Yes, it is, but I had some questions. Please ask, she smiles giddily. Do you know anything about Brothel Puzzlewell?
Updated my journal.
No, sorry. That's a great name, though, huh? I'll bet she's a really interesting person. Hey, you should ask, Yves about her. Yves collects all kinds of stories. I'll say. Trying to find Vivian's scent. Do you know where it might be? Then he frowns deeply. What? Oh, I just can't. I can't say anything bad about anyone. I'm just no good at it. It's not bad to point out a thief, Nenny. Oh, but I don't know if she's a thief. Nenny bites her lip and looks at you with pleading eyes, as if she just wishes you'd leave the topic alone. Look, why don't you try and say something not nice about her? Oh, alright. Nenny puts her hands on her hips and frowns deeply, almost exaggeratedly. You resist the temptation to laugh. Ooh, I dislike her very, very much. She pauses for a moment, then looks at you out of the corner of her eye, as if gauging your reaction. Was that convincing? No, not really. Nenny frowns. I knew I wouldn't be any good at this. She looks up at you, depressed. Do you know how hard it is to say bad things about someone? It feels so wrong. Why don't you practice on me, Nenny? I suppose I could try. She looks dubious. You big, mean, nasty brute. She puts her hands on her hips. Meanie. She looks at you. How was that? Put more accent on brute. You big, nasty brute. Better. Now hit me. Nenny clamps her hands over her mouth, looking shocked. Oh, I couldn't. I mustn't. She blinks. How does one hit somebody anyway? Go ahead. Do it lightly if you have to. Remember, I'm a mean, nasty brute. I deserve it. Nenny slaps you. You barely feel it. She still looks shocked and frightened. She hurt you. Oh, I'm sorry. Did that hurt? Tell me you're okay. Don't break character, Nenny. Come on. Show me what you've got. You can say something bad. Just let it all out. Oh! Nenny draws her tiny frame to its full height, balls her hands into fists, puts them on her hips, and scrunches up her face in a cute scowl. Oh, damned be you! You deserved that for all the indignities you put me through. Going out late at night? Her eyes roam up and down your body, getting into fights and getting all scarred up. What are the kids going to think? Excellent. Oh, don't you excellent me like I'm some backlicker, looking for your approval. I am my own woman, and this woman is about to walk out of your life unless I get some solid commitment. Alright, that's enough out of you, Nenny. Nenny punches you. You barely feel it. Take this! She punches you again, and this! She punches you again, promptly turning into a little fist-flailing whirlwind. Okay, time to let go of the anger. Nenny sighs tiredly. Phew! That was easier than I thought. No kidding. Hey, 5,000 XP. Hell yeah. Also, thank you to the commenter. You know who you are. Sorry, I forget your username. Told me that XP gets split between the parties. So that's why I'm not gaining as much XP as I think, because it's being split 4 ways, which totally fine. And I'm sure you'll do better next time. I'm so excited to have learned something new. Thank you. Sure, I have a question now. Okay, so I need to ask her again. Okay.
Updated my journal.
Maybe. I saw that mean Marissa sneaking out of Vivian's room one night. Now, I'm not saying she took it, but I know Marissa's not a very nice person, and that sure sounds suspicious, huh? I'd go asking her about it. Nenny nods at you. Thanks, Nenny. I think that is it? Yes. That is all I wish to know. Thank you. Ooh, container's locked. Okay, hold on. Let me save just in case something bad happens. And let me unlock that. Ooh, 233! Hell yes! Nice, okay. That's some good stuff. Okay, on to the next room. It's like I need to talk to Echo now. This striking young woman has skin the color of burnished copper. A translucent white dress, held precariously by golden clasps, is draped carefully over her shapely form. Greetings. Excuse me? The woman nods and smiles briefly. The scent of her hair, sweetly perfumed, fills your nostrils. I had some questions. She nods. Who are you? She smiles and curtsies, but offers no response. Can you speak? She shakes her head and smiles sadly at you.
Updated my journal.
I love this chit already. God, Mort. Mort's that fucking guy off in the corner being like, oh, my perfect woman has an awesome bod but can't talk. Can you write then? Or pantomime? She pouts, shaking her head. May I ask why you can't communicate? She sighs softly and nods. Oh, yeah, because that's not a yes or no question. Okay. Alright, well, farewell. And...
Right. We need to set up Kip now.
It's locked as well, which means...
Unlocked.
Nice, 102. That's awesome.
I must rest.
I'm aware, Dakon. Don't worry, we'll rest eventually, I'm sure. Okay, anything in here? Okay. No one in here, but it's worth checking out, seeing if there's anything good in here. Ooh, a gold earring, okay. I'll have to have someone grab that. Nope, not stealth mode.
Left the shadows. Unlocked.
There we go. Ooh, a handkerchief and a silver bracelet. Okay, I'll walk over here, and I'll have him grab these things. Okay.
I'm gone.
That's also locked. Not for long, though.
Unlocked.
Ooh, 43 and another gold earring. Nice.
What?
Okay. Mort,
Good as done.
go grab. Mort, use grab. It's super effective.
I'm gone.
Okay, I think that's it here. On to the next one, then. Let's see. Oh, this room is totally empty. Okay. Alright, let's head to the next one, then. Oh. Hold on. I thought there was something. Okay.
Right. We need to set up Kip now.
Interesting, okay. So, according to my guide, I can ignore that for now, but I will be using that later on.
I must rest.
Yeah, I get it, Dakon. Just hold it out. Drink an energy drink or something. There we go. Okay. Who is in here? Ah, Marissa. Ah, the big meanie, huh? Squinting at the figure behind the partition, you can barely make out a shapely female form in the darkness. She turns to you, but you can see nothing of her face. Greetings. The figure answers in a voice that is slow and deadly, like a steel dagger drawn across stone. Yes, come to speak with Marissa, have you? Quite rude of you to enter a darkened room, storming behind my partition like so. Rude and foolhardy. You can hear a faint whispering sound, like a slight breeze or the hissing of serpents. Mort whispers quietly, "Whoa, creepy shit." My apologies, my lady, I wasn't sure if someone was here. The woman gives a slight humph. But it would seem there is someone in this room, wouldn't it? Shall you be on your way then? Not just yet, I had some questions. Ask. Okay. What do I ask her? I want to see what she looks like. Okay. Okay, why do you remain behind the screen? Is it your wish that I step away from this partition into some patch of light and speak to you face to face? Marissa laughs, and there is the sound of scales sliding on scales. Nay, I think not. The darkness suits me, and doubtless suits you as well. Why is it so dark in here? To prevent any unwanted and embarrassing casualties. Now, what is it that you want? I want you to come into the light. Nay, and the addition of please will not serve to persuade me. Now, what do you want? Surely you did not come all this way to see me. I do want to see what you look like. You have no such want. Oh, I do. What do you look like? The darkness hides us both. Let's make it a game. I'm frightfully bored. Let me guess, are you a human male? Yes. Are you wounded in the throat? I can't see, but I believe so, yes. Describe yourself to me. Okay. Okay. I'm tall, muscular, and horribly scarred. Indeed, She pauses for a moment. How are you so horribly scarred? Wait, never mind, I do not wish to know. Now describe yourself for me. Marissa describes herself as a shapely, pale-skinned, beautiful woman with a forked tongue, hair made up of writhing asps, and glowing eyes, which you assume she must be keeping shut. Oh, so it's, what's her name from Greek mythology? Medusa. She's basically Medusa, then. Interesting. Are you a fiend?
Updated my journal.
Marissa laughs slightly, the sound accompanied by a slight hissing. No, heartily, though I've powers some might call fiendish. My glance turns the living things to stone, for instance, from beings of flesh to statuary with the bat of an eyelash. Yep, yeah, she is exactly Medusa. Living things to stone. Could you turn, say, a limb into a statue?
Updated my journal.
I suppose I could, had you a limb, and were I inclined to do so, I might be so inclined, had I my crimson veil, but you do not know where it is gone. Have you seen it, perchance? No, what's it for? Is it just a normal veil? Marissa sighs quietly. Not quite. It aids me in communication, face-to-face communication, that is. Why do you need to hide your face? Oh, well. Enough with these asinine questions. How tiresomely annoying you are. Now what do you want? Alright, yeah, I guess that's fair. I already asked her that. Okay. Just some questions answered. I was told you were seen sneaking away from Vivian's chambers recently. Is that connected with her missing scent somehow?
Updated my journal.
Marissa says nothing, though an angry hissing issues from the darkness around her. Yes, I've been known to creep into Vivian's chamber for some of her perfumes, though I doubt you'll meet another here who hasn't. If you're implying that I've got her personal scent, well, feel free to sniff around. You'll not find it on me or in my chambers, I assure you. Perhaps whoever took my crimson veil took Vivian's scent as well. Okay. Alright, that's all I wish to know. Farewell. Okay. Okay, so now I need to go find Nenny again. See if she's still in her room. Hopefully she is, because that would make this quite easy. But you never know. Hey, she is. Perfect. Okay. Well met, good sir. I'm Nenny. How are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. That's alright. Trying to find Marissa's Crimson Veil. Do you know where it might be?
Updated my journal.
I'll bet I do. I saw that nasty Kamazski? No clue. I'll just call her Kim. At her tongue, sneaking out of Marissa's room one night. They're both meanies, you know. But Kim's really awful. Anyway, I'd like to talk to her first. That's all I wanted to know. Farewell. Okay. Okay, so now I head to the next rooms. Oh, I just realized that, Dakon never made it all the way over here. Oh, and there's Vivian. And a brothel patron. Okay. Alright, let's head in here. Is there anything in this one? No. No one here, but there's some comments. Hey, and I'll take that.
Right. We need to say upkeep now.
Okay, no one there. Okay, there's Vivian.
I must rest.
What's in this one? Anything good? No, probably not. Oh, a handkerchief, okay. I'll have Mort grab that. Anything here? Ooh, it's locked, okay. Let's use thief skills and unlock that. Hey, some commons, nice.
What's up, Chief? Okay.
Yes, go, Mort, go and fetch the handkerchief. Okay, alright, now I need to go talk to Kasai Saris. So you are next. This alarmingly voluptuous woman has a thick mane of wavy raven-colored hair, bluish skin, and shimmering crimson eyes, like rubies which have fires lit behind them. Though she is not beautiful in the typical sense of the word, her features are exotic and not altogether unattractive. Greetings. The woman's voice is deep and sensuous, and my greetings to you, sir. Her burning eyes roam over you. Excuse me. I'm Kasai Saris, so tell me, what might I do for you, Anything, Mort cries. Do anything you want to me. Kasai laughs heartily, revealing canines long enough to be considered fangs. She shakes her head and smiles at Mort. Truly, though, please, what can I do for you? What do I want to ask her? Okay, well, what do you usually do for patrons? Talk, of course, usually about dreams, often those erotic in nature, but not always. Kasai winks at you, smiling. So, would you like to tell me yours? Don't be shy, I've heard everything, you know. Nothing will shock or surprise me, and I so love to hear people's dreams. We can trade if you'd like, too, but you must go first. I don't have dreams, actually. Kasai arches her eyebrows in surprise. Truly? How sad. Even fiends and divas dream. You know. Are you certain you don't? Quite certain. No dreams at all. Huh. Too peculiar. I'm at a loss as to what to say. Well, I did have some questions. Kasai blinks her crimson eyes at you, awaiting your question. Okay. Question her about herself. Okay. If you don't mind me asking, what are you? Kasai shakes her head. What, can't you tell? She draws herself up, thrusting her ample bosom towards you. A woman! She raises an eyebrow. I can see my answer doesn't please you. I'm plain touched, actually, like your friend here. Kasai indicates Anna. That's all you need to know. Okay. What are you doing here? Entertaining your questions, it seems, she winks at you. Really, though, I'm a student of Mistress Grace's. All the prostitutes in the brothels are. A student. That's right. The brothel is actually a school for women who are thinking of becoming sensates. Mistress Grace teaches us the ways of language so that we can better identify with ourselves and those around us. It lets us experience the planes more fully, you know? Okay, some other questions. Do you know anything about Brothel Puzzlewell? No, nothing. Are you sure? You seem suddenly upset. She narrows her red eyes at you. Of course I'm sure. Don't ask me of her again. Okay. Alright, I think that's it for her then. Okay, we also have Delora here, but according to my guide, I'm supposed to wait on that, so let's head into the next room. Hey, there's Kim. Alright, let's talk to you, Kim. The wild-looking tiefling girl meets your gaze with an angry scowl. Her tattooed body is practically naked, covered by only a narrow leather thong, a black cloth brassiere, and armored shoulder pads that appear to serve more as decoration rather than actual protection. Her spiked hair, as well as the thin fur that covers her goat-like legs, is brassy white, and numerous silver rings dangle from her ears, nostrils, lips, and brow. She wears a leather collar around her throat with the inscription, Kim blah blah Addertongue. Greetings. Kim bares her teeth at you. And just what are you looking at, you banged-up sod? My friend thought you were attractive, but whoa! Was he ever horribly mistaken? She sneers at Mort, then looks below him. Where a body would normally be, sharp tongue for a stemless deader. That's enough, you two. Ooh, actually, or allow. Oh, okay, nope. Let them keep at it. Like I'd let mine anywhere near if I had one. What, did you hear the word brothel and think you could make some jink here? You flea-bitten gutter whore? Jesus, Mort, ha! Can't believe they even let you in the door with all those ticks hopping off your shaggy legs. Ticks? The only annoying insect around here is you. She suddenly turns to you. Hey, you here to talk to me or what? Okay, I guess that's your natural conclusion. Or well, what else can I do with you? What did you have in mind, you sodding jawbox? Go ahead, give me a reason to say no to you. What do you usually do for patrons? I'm a practitioner of abuse. What's that mean? I'll show you. Her hand lashes out to slap your face, but you manage to barely dodge the blow. Kim pouts visibly, then scowls. Oh well. Say, can you teach Mort here to be more abusive? Oh, hell yeah. She raises her eyebrows. Now that's an unusual request. I don't know, it seems pretty foul-mouthed already. He seems pretty foul-mouthed. Kim Bladderdung, you scruffy, goat-gammed harlot. You wish you had legs like mine, you pitiful wretch of a bone box. I can walk, run, dance. What do? Bob around wishing you had a pair, goats or otherwise. The two of them lay into one another, exchanging barbed, blistering insults and clashing with razor-edged tongues. Wait for it to end. At last the two stop their bickering, and eerie silence settles over them as they eye one another hatefully. Finally, the tiefling makes a grudging admission to Mort. You're not bad, really. Not bad at all. Better than you, perhaps. Mort waggles his eyebrows at her. Eh? Kim narrows her eyes at Mort. Don't push it, Skull.
New taunts, alright!
Woohoo! Hell yeah. I won't, tiefling. I will admit I might have learned a thing or two, though. Good thinking, Chief. Sure thing, Mort. Kim turns to you. So, was that all you wanted? I'm not spending any more time near you than I have to. Actually, I had some questions. Tiefling rolls her eyes. And what makes you think I care? Why don't you lick my backside? My tongue's not wide enough, and I don't like hair in my mouth. Well, you seem to like the taste of offal in your mouth, you dung-breathed cretin. Only because it's like kissing you, you mangy stinkpot. Kiss me, she makes a retching sound. I'd rather kiss a bloody mass of phlegm than lay my lips on you. No thanks. Don't thank me, thank the powers someone actually wants to kiss you. Kim looks at a loss for something to say. For an instant, a smile threatens to crack the grimacing mask of her face. Then she becomes more of a basilisk than ever. Alright, what do you want of me? Questions answered. She looks annoyed. Fine, whatever, ask. I was told that you were sneaking away from Marissa's chambers recently. Is that connected with her missing veil somehow? Kim flies into a rage. Who told you that? She suddenly falls silent, glaring at you through narrowed eyes. If I was there, Burke, I didn't take her filthy veil. Search my room if you'd like. I catch you sniffing at my breeches, though. I'll see to it you're never allowed in here again. Why would anyone ever sniff at your breeches?
Updated my journal.
Oh, buddy. Buddy, you do not know about the kinks some people have. Beats me. Someone's nicked more than a few pair of them, though. My favorite leather brassiere, too. With the iron studs. She humps angrily. Huh. So someone is stealing everyone's stuff, then. Okay. Okay. Alright, that is it then. Now we return to Nenny and ask her about who is going in to Kim's stuff. Okay. There's Echo. Juliet. Hey, Nenny. Why do they call you Nenny Nine Eyes? I wonder. Okay. Kim said someone's been taking things from her room, too. Have you seen anything odd?
Updated my journal.
Nenny's eyes suddenly go wide. Oh, that's right! You know, once I saw a man sneaking out of Kim's room while she was out talking to a patron. I watched the front doors all that day, but he never ever left. Isn't that odd? I don't think he could have made it out a window, so I never figured out where he went. And then I totally forgot about it. Weird, huh? That is. Farewell, Nenny. Maybe Nenny has something to do with this, huh? Maybe. Okay. Okay. Now, the next one.
Right. We need to set up Kip now.
Yes, I know, Anna. I need to set up Kip, whatever the hell that means. Okay.
I must rest.
Oh, what the hell? Why did this close? That's weird. Okay, into here now. One from Grace, Echo. Alright. Yves the Tail Chaser. Okay. This fetching young woman has a faraway look in her soft sea-green eyes. Greetings. Greetings, I am Yves the Tail Chaser. What a coincidence, I too chase tails. Good God, Mort. Yves continues, unperturbed. Have you come to trade tails? What do I say? Yes. Yeah, I'd like to trade tails. Yves nods. I would like that very much, yes. Okay, what tale do I tell her? To have 7 stories to tell her, and Anna, Mort, and Dakon can tell their own. Oh, and I earned 500 XP for each one. Oh, nice, okay. Tell her the story of you waking up in the mortuary. Yves leans forward as you tell the tale of your awakening in the Dustman's mortuary. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale. I too will tell of the Dustman, chapters of dust. Go on. Woohoo! 500! There are chapters in the Dead Book, the massive tome which the Dustmen keep that records the passing of all that lives into the eternal boundary. In this book, there are chapters that are not but dust, but it is believed that the names therein are lost souls who cannot die, but must suffer life eternally until history itself dies, and grants them release. Okay, I have another tale to share with you. Tell her the story of the Alley of Lingering Sighs. Yves leans forward as you tell the tale of the alley giving birth. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale, and now I have one for you. But before I begin, I must ask, do you know what a Modron is? No. Modrons are creatures of total law, almost more machinery than living things. There are many different sorts of Modron. Modron? I don't know how to pronounce that. But all have their place in a very rigid, carefully organized hierarchy. So dedicated are they to the system that they cannot communicate with or even consider the existence of Modrons who are not their immediate superiors or inferiors. I understand now. And I shall tell you the tale of the Clock and the Quadrone. Okay. Once upon a time, there existed a Modron. It was newly created, its logic fresh and untested, and it had come to Sigil following the commands of its Modron superiors. It knew of nothing but commands and dictates of obedience passing along the orders of its superiors. For you see, Modrons are only aware of the commands of their immediate superiors. They have no grasp of a higher authority until this one. One day it came upon a small shop within which there was a small clock that could no longer tell time. It was cracked along the edges, the wheels of its hands broken. The Modron immediately set itself to work at getting the parts to fix the broken clock. It made a new wooden housing for the clock's parts, replaced the bent springs, carefully filed and oiled the clockwork machinery, and carved new hands from the sparse metal available to it. The newly repaired clock's precise ticking reminded it of the great gears of Mechanus, and it comforted as much as anything may comfort a Modron. And what the Modron never came to understand was that it truly loved this clock that it had worked on, and for reasons it could not explain, elected to remain in Sigil and be with the clock for the rest of its years. I have another tale. Tell her of Requin's curse. Yves leans forward as you tell the tale of Requin's odiferous curse. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale, and now I have one for you, the Gilded Tale. Upon the plain of Isgard in the Gilded Hall, where those sensates that seek the pleasure of gullet and loin can be found, they indulge these passions in earnest, never realizing that the doors of the hall never open, and that there is no clear path back to the civic fest hall. They are the unwanted sensates, the ones that do not truly believe in the faction, but instead seek only pleasure for pleasure's sake, are prisoners who do not realize they are such truly prisoners. I have another tale. Tell her the story of the Alley of Dangerous Angles. Yves leans forward as you tell the tale of the Alley of Dangerous Angles and how it came to be. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale. And now, I have one for you, the Lady Suitor. Go on. The tale contains a suitor of the Lady of Pain, one of many over the years. He was a young man who was obsessed with the mistress of Sigil. He saw her everywhere, in every corner of her city. He would hear the rustling of her robes, the scrape of her blades, and grew infatuated beyond all reason. He hoped that if he worshipped her, that he would at last be able to see her, and so worship her he did. He was found dead on the blood-soaked steps of his own home, grievous stab wounds covering the whole of his body, but his eyes were wide open, and upon his lips was a triumphant smile. I have another tale. Tell her the story of Farid. Yves looks forward as you tell the tale of the fall of Farid. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale, and now I have one for you. Once came a man who had experienced the most beautiful thing in the multiverse. It was his intention to place the experience within one of the Civic Fest Hall's sensory stones, Magical devices which held feelings and memories for an eternity, leaving them for others to partake of. But he thought about it. Wouldn't its being shared dilute the experience? So he held it to himself, precious thing that it was, and aged with the memory. But as he aged, the memory became tarnished and beaten, and he could no longer recall the glory of the experience. I have another tale. Tell her the story of Ignis. Yves leans forward as you tell the tale of Ignis and the art that burned within him. She seems to devour your every word. As you finish, she smiles at you. I shall remember this tale, and now I have one for you, the execution. Once a murderer roamed Sigil streets, a black-hearted man by the name of Cossacks. He had been blessed by his abyssal mother so that no one could strike him with an intent to harm, or they themselves would die. He reveled in his blessing, using it to start fights and murder anyone who crossed his path. During one of his murderous rages, he was captured by the Harmonium with nets and brought before the governors. The trial was short, final, yet Cossacks laughed at the proceedings, knowing that no one among them could harm him without dying horribly. At the final day of his trial, he was proclaimed guilty and sentenced to death. Cossack's sentence proclaimed by the governors was this: confinement for thrice 30 days, during which time you shall give up your life, be declared dead, and your body removed when all signs of life cease. Cossacks laughed and dared any of them to try and harm him, yet the court was silent. Whoa, okay, this is getting long. The Mercy Killers led Cossacks to their prison and locked him in a dark, empty cell. There was no cot, no lights, and the only door was a steel grate in the ceiling. As they lowered him into the cell, the Mercy Killers told him, "In the corner of your cell you will find a chalice. It holds poison. Your death will be swift." "Aren't you going to execute me?" Cossack snarled at the guard. "No one in Sigil shall lay a hand on you with intent to harm," came the Mercy Killer's reply. "Then I spit on your cowardice," Cossacks laughed, feeling for the chalice in the darkness, then hurling it at the wall and shattering it. Its poison dripped from the walls and dried until it was no more. "Come then, you will have to try and kill me now." But there was no response from the grate in the ceiling. It was then that Cossacks noticed the cell had no cot, no lights, and no food and water. All that remained was the shattered chalice, the poison gone, and for the first time, Cossacks knew the icy touch of death's approach. In twice 30 days, the grate opened, and Cossack's body, now cold, was taken from the cell. It had given up its life, and the execution had been carried out. Whew! Oh man, first of all, horrible. Good God. I mean, I guess he deserved it, question mark, but goddamn, oh, what a horrible way to go though, like, because what would kill you first? It would have to be, dehydration, right? Oh god, and that's a horrible way to go too. Good God. Alright, I have another tale. Ask one of your companions if they have a story to tell. Mort, do you have a story to trade? Me? Why do I have to tell a story? Just tell a story, Mort. Fine, fine. An elderly man was sitting alone on a dark path, right? He wasn't certain of which direction to go, and he'd forgotten both where he was traveling to and who he was. He'd sat down for a moment to rest his weary legs, and suddenly looked up to see an elderly woman before him. She grinned toothlessly and with a cackle spoke. "Now, your third wish, what will it be?" Go on. "Third wish," the man was baffled. "How can it be a third wish if I haven't had a first and second wish?" "You've had 2 wishes already," the hag said, "but your second wish was for me to return everything to the way it was before you had made your first wish. That's why you remember nothing, because everything is the way it was before you made any wishes." She cackled at the poor Burke. "So it is that you have 1 wish left." Go on. "Alright," said the man, "I don't believe this, but there's no harm in wishing. I wish to know who I am." "Funny," said the old woman as she granted his wish and disappeared forever. "That was your first wish." "Oh, hoo-hoo, that's a good story." Yves smiles. "An interesting tale, Mort. Now I have one for you and your companion, the Fiend's Game. A fiend sometimes wandered the wilderness of a certain prime world in the guise of a friendly old man. One day, he came upon some hunters in the wood. "What are you doing?" the fiend asked. The hunters told him, and the fiend nodded. I have never been on a hunt before." The hunters invited the old man to come along. The group eventually came upon a glade where several deer were grazing. The hunters carried crossbows but did not fire. The fiend asked them why. "They are unarmed," the hunters chuckled, patting their crossbows. "We hunt nothing that does not have the ability to defend itself. After all, where is the sport in that?" The fiend nodded at this and promptly gated in 3 of his fellows. The hunters led them on a merry chase, but eventually they were caught and eaten. Oh. Interesting, okay. Alright, another tale. Anna. I'm no good at telling such things, I'm not. She frowns and waves her hands, as if trying to shoo away the idea. Don't be asking for such nonsense now. Yves smiles at Anna, but I would very much like to hear your story. Please share your story, Anna. Come on already, fiendling. You already have one tail you won't part with. Anna looks uncomfortable, her tail lashing slowly back and forth. Well, I know one story. She suddenly becomes angry, glaring at Yves. But you might not like it. You won't. So don't be blaming me for your choking it out of me. Go ahead, Anna. Anna scowls, then finally relents with an exasperated sigh. I heard a story when I was a wee lass. The Spurk's walking home real late, near Anti-Peak, and passes an old toothless crone in a dark and otherwise empty street. Where are you going? She asks him. Home to me wife and Kip, he says. Near the slags? She asks him. Sure enough, he says. So she asks him a favor. To take a box she's got to Debtor's Pit and give it to the woman there. Now this Spurk's a real sap too. Nice to say. No, despite the fact that he's sure something's not quite right about this old crone and agrees. But what's the woman's name? He asks. Where does she live? Where should I look for her if she's not by Debtor's Pit? The woman hands him the box, a wooden thing wrapped in colored cloth, and tells him to just go on, and she'll be there. Finally, she warns him, and whatever he does, do not open the box. So he takes it home with him and hides it in the rafters, thinking he'll bring it by Debtor's Pit when it's light out. His wife, though, seeing him hiding the box, gets right jealous, thinking it's a gift for a lover or something, and opens it up as soon as he's not looking. Well, it turns out the box was full of gouged out eyes and severed male members, with the hair still on them. Oh, Jesus. Her scream brought the Burke running. He remembered what the crone said, got right scared, and wrapped the box back up. He went out straight away to Debtor's Pit, and sure enough, there was another old hag waiting there for him. He hands her the box and says to him, "This box has been opened and looked into." The poor Burke tries to deny it, but she gets this dreadful look on her face. "You've done something horrible," she tells him, then disappears. That done, he hurries back to his Kip. He's feeling ill when he gets back and takes to bed. His wife bitterly regretted opening the box and all, but it was too late. Next day he died of a rotten disease, and the first thing to go was his eyes and stem. Anna nods grimly, her tale complete. Whew, that was a long one. Jesus, Anna. Yves smiles. That was a wonderful tale, Anna. You should never hesitate to share it. Now I have one for you and your companion, the Parched Land. Once a large village was struck by a terrible drought. A farmer journeyed to the worshipping stone, and again implored it as to the cause of the drought. He asked the stone why it did nothing when the fields were parched and dying, why the animals and the people suffered, while the stone did not a thing. Have we not given enough offerings? The farmer asked, begging almost upon his hands and knees. But the stone did not respond. It merely sat and cast its shadow. Whew. Alright, I have another tale. Alright, Dakon. Dakon nods solemnly. I shall impart the tale of Achali drowning. Dakon tells the story of Achali, a foolish Githzerai of myth who had become lost in the chaos of limbo. Normally, a single Githzerai may use their focus and mental discipline to form the chaos around them into a small habitable environment. Achali, however, asked so many useless and unfocused questions in her quest to return home that her Isle of Matter dissolved around her and she drowned. Yves smiles. Fascinating, Dakon. Let me share with you and your companion another version of your tale that I have heard. Dakon looks attentive and perhaps a little surprised. Yves goes on to tell a different version of Dakon's tale in which Achali was driven from the Githzerai city of Shrekt Lore for her constant useless prattling. One day she encountered a Slati on his way to the spawning stone. She hastily erected a wall of chaos matter, which even the ravenous Slati found difficult to break down. Hungrily it waited and spoke to her through the wall. She asked it questions, and as she became more absorbed in her pointless queries and the Slati's answers, her own wall decayed and collapsed upon her, and thus she drowned in the matter of limbo. Alright, I think that's all the tales. And thank God that was so much reading. I mean, it was worth it for the XP, but holy shit. I had a question for you. Do you know anything about Brothel Puzzlewell? The tale of Brothel Puzzlewell, frightener of children, begins and ends with a question: what can change the nature of a man? Many were the times she posed this riddle to those who approached her, those who sought to glean from her the strange magics that she alone seemed to possess. All attempted to answer her query, but to no avail, and they found the price of their wrong answer to be some horrible fate, always more terrible than the last victim's. To recount their various torments would be to speak of things that nightmares are woven from. The tale strikes me in this way. Brothel herself knew not the answer to this question, but she lusted for such an answer. Only the why of the matter remained in question. Why did the nature of a man matter to one of the Grey Sisters, especially to ones of such power as Brothel? It is said that she put the question to the Lady of Pain, not directly, but shouted it to Sigil itself, daring for the lady to answer. When no reply was forthcoming, she wove terrible magics that threatened to open the cage and let the fury of the plains roll like a wave. She received no answer other than banishment. To this day, no one knows the answer to Brovel's question, and now there is no one to petition, for Brothel herself is gone, lost to the plains. Okay.
Updated my journal.
Another question. Wait, there's more. Though my tale ends with Brovel's demise, there are some that claim the hag still lives. There's a silent prostitute here who once talked of such things, but she speaks no longer. If she would speak to you, she might tell you more of Brothel. Oh, what else can you tell me of this silent prostitute?
Updated my journal.
Echo, Yves frowns, thinking. I once heard a tale of a girl who knew the word that, if spoken, would undo the multiverse. Perhaps this is Echo. Ask Delora, though. I understand that she sometimes meets with one who knew Echo before she stopped speaking. Oh, cool. That's all I wish to know. Awesome. Okay, and that's locked. So let's unlock that.
What's the word, Chief?
Let's have Morton look in it. We've got some commons, a handkerchief, and a love letter. Oh yeah, that's for Juliet's thing. Awesome. Okay, alright, now to talk to Delora. And that's Kasai, there's Echo. Where'd Delora go? There she is. Delora, I need to talk to you. This dark-haired, pale-skinned woman has a cultured, refined look about her. As she turns to you, you note that her eyes, which you had previously thought to be gray, are the color of brushed steel. Greetings. The woman's voice is soft, calm, and without inflection. It has a certain far-away quality, as if somehow not attached to her. Greetings, I am called Delora. May I serve you somehow? In what ways can you serve me, Delora? She blinks her eyes, then touches her hand to her heart, bowing her head slightly. I am able to debate any scholarly or academic matter quite proficiently. If that is your wish, I am also well versed in various games of strategy. Should you wish to play something, though I have the materials for few such games here. Okay, what do I do? Offer to engage her in debates. Okay. Debate, you say? Delora nods. That is correct. I am neither a tome nor a tutor. I have no desire to educate my patrons. Should you have a matter to discuss, however, the 15 factions and their effect on Sigillian politics, the most effective battle stratagems for warring in Acheron, the meaning of its existence itself, I would be most pleased to choose a counterpoint and engage you in debate. Okay. Choose a topic, see if you can best her. You choose a topic and begin. At first you seem to be holding up fine, but in time your position crumbles as Delora crushes one of your arguments after another with her infallible sense of logic. She seems to take no joy in her victory, however, and merely offers, if you would like, we can debate once more upon the same topic. I could argue your position this time should you desire. Huh, okay. Okay, so apparently I didn't have enough intelligence to do that, so let's try playing a game. Of course, is there anything in particular you wish to play? No, I don't really remember any games. Here then, allow me to show you one. Delora brings out a thin, lacquered box, which unfolds into a small board marked with a grid. The contents of the box prove to be a number of polished stone chips, half of them black, half of them white. This game goes by many names. Shall I explain the rules to you? Yes, please. Delora explains to you the rules of the game, how the chips are moved, how one bests one's opponent. It seems somehow faintly familiar to you. The rules are simple, yes, but a great deal of complexity lies within the game itself. It takes a great deal of time to master. Shall we play? Yes, let's. As you play, you come to realize that you've done so before. Even your best tricks, though, are nothing to Delora's well-calculating strategies. The game runs steadily downhill for you until you are at last beaten entirely. She does not smile or gloat, however, but quietly begins to put the game away. You seem to possess a good understanding of the game. In time, you could become quite good. Oh, I only have 15 intelligence, that's why. Okay, I need 16 to do this. Okay, I have a cranium rat on me, so I'm gonna use one. Yep, there we go, 16 intelligence. Okay. Just how might you serve me? Okay, yeah, because, you have 16 intelligence, you would not beat her in debate or in the game, but will still recover memories. Okay, that works for me. But wait, hold on. If one, can I use multiple? Is that, yep, 17. Okay, one more, and I'm at 18, which is what I need. Nice. Okay, perfect. Okay, there we go. Alright. Debate, you say? Yes, choose a topic. You choose a topic and begin. The debate lasts a long time as the two of you exchange points and counterpoints, each attempting to methodically undermine the other's position. As you speak, a strange feeling begins to come over you, a memory trying to surface. Allow the memory to surface. Yes, and 5,000 XP. If I stuck with 16, I'd only get 3,000, but with 18, I'd get 5,000. Worth it! Memories of a great hall begin to form in your mind, a vast place full of well-dressed elites. A formal ball was taking place. Before you was a small, impeccably dressed fellow who wore a golden medallion. It was emblazoned with a symbol you dimly recall as the Sign of One. The two of you stood in a circle of onlookers who've gathered to listen to your debate. But that's impossible, the man was saying, looking perplexed. Oh, but it is, you recall yourself replying. I've made several inarguable points and given you a number of examples. You simply don't exist. But you can't... Were I to accept that, I'd... Yes, you'd cease to exist. And without a flash of light or puff of smoke, with no fanfare of any sort, the man was simply gone. Whoa, okay. The onlookers oohed and awed. Some clapped. You remember giving a flourishing bow and walking away, a small, satisfied smile upon your lips. You suddenly realized Delora is watching you closely. Are you feeling well? We might finish our discussion at another time, should you like. No, let's continue the debate. As hard-pressed as you are to beat Delora's infallible sense of logic, you eventually win out. She merely nods in approval. You are a most skilled debater. Some might call me a master debater. Couldn't resist. There is no such denying. I do feel, though, that, had I time to perform some research, you might not have bested me. Thanks. Delora nods. If you would like, we could debate once more, blah blah blah. Could we play a game? Of course. The one we played before would be fine. We finished the game with much the same result as before. Most enjoyable game again. Now... Hold on, wait, what? What? How did I not... Delora cast her eyes to the floor with a sound that might be a sad... sigh. I'm willing to serve you as a patron, but have no wish to answer other questions at this time. My apologies, but if you shall simply have to bear with that, for the time being. What's wrong? Anything I can help you with?
Updated my journal.
She looks up from the floor and into your eyes. Once more, you're struck by the pale smoothness of skin, the cold depths of her silvery eyes. No, I fear not. My troubles are a matter of the heart. In time, I think all things shall be resolved. Are you certain there's nothing I could do? Certain. Delora pauses as if thinking. No, I am not. My first love, Merriman, possesses still the keys to my heart. So long as he has them, I shan't be free to love another. This is the cause of my melancholy. Why don't you seek him out? Speak with him. Delora shakes her head. I may not leave this place. The reasons why are deeply personal, and not to be shared with strangers, even ones who might bestow a kindness upon me. But suffice to say that I cannot seek out Merriman myself. Then I'll find this Merriman and speak to him on your behalf.
Updated my journal.
Delora nods, the slightest hint of a smile appearing on her lips. She bows her head. Were you to find and speak with Merriman, I would be most grateful. He is a member of the Society of Sensation, so you may wish to ask for him at the Civic Fest Hall. I'll return when I find him. Farewell. Interesting. So... Okay, I still have 18 intelligence. Why did I not win that game? Okay, let me try talking to her again then. No? Oh, okay, apparently I can't. Well, that kinda sucks. Oh, well, at least I won the debate, at least. Okay. Now I return to Fall from Grace.
How may I help you?
Let her know. Fall from Grace turns as you approach and smiles slightly. How may I help you? Other questions? Yes. I spoke to 9 of the students as you asked, but I could not find the 10th. And you could not find the 10th student? How curious. Ooh, okay. Interesting. How should I respond? Wisdom 14 or Intelligence 15, you can say that either you or Luis is the 10th student earning 3000 XP. Oh, cool. I'm thinking the 10th student is me, in which case I've spoken to all of them. Hey, nice. She nods. Very well. And your thoughts? Okay, what should I say? You ask your thoughts, answer however you please. Oh, okay, cool. You and I should leave this place and explore the plains. There is nothing more for either of us, one of us, to experience here. Probably not that. I have learned what it means to aspire to be a sensate, and that it is better to go in search of experience rather than have it come to you. Ooh, that's a good one. Should get rid of all the armoires in the brothel and use them as firewood. Oh my god, that's awesome. Or teaching within a sheltered environment such as this only harms the student, and the planes themselves are often the best teacher. Yeah, let's go with the second one. Fall from Grace nods. Very well, I will travel with you, if you still desire my company. I do. Whew!
Oh, Mistress High and Mighty will be joining us.
I understand.
Whoa.
I wish she would fall from great height. I might even bump her off myself.
But she just casted aid on you. The hell, Anna? Jesus. Alright, yep, we've got Fall from Grace with us now.
I must rest.
Let's go! Whew, and I'm like 609 away from leveling up. Becoming level 7 Thief! Let's go! Okay. Okay, now I need to talk to Grace again and exhaust her conversation options. Okay, so dialogue. Grace.
Yes?
Can you tell me about the Tanari? The Tanari are fiends. Some call them demons. They have embraced evil for chaos's sake. They dwell upon the poisoned plains of the abyss, where they feed on their own rage and lash out across the multiverse, despoiling all they touch. They forever seek to tempt others into committing crimes of passion and vice. And you are a Tanari? That is correct. I'm a lesser Tanari, more specifically a succubus. Oh, I already asked her all this. And you... Perhaps
Yes.
so... How did you come by the name Fall from Grace? The meaning of names is a complicated subject. There is much to be said, and a great deal that is better left unsaid. Is Fall from Grace your real name? Perhaps, she smiles slightly. Perhaps not. There are names which are given and names which are earned. Who is to say which is the real one? I think the name which is earned carries the greater weight. I think the name which is given... Whew. Say the name which is earned. That may be so. Why do you think that? Because a name that is earned is not arbitrary. A name that is earned tells of what you've accomplished. Grace nods. Your point is well taken. So why are you called Fall from Grace? Would it matter? She smiles. It is an earned name. It matters to me. I would like to know how you came to be called that. I have fallen from my people. Some would say risen from my people, perhaps, but fall feels more right to me. She looks at you questioningly. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. After all, fall carries with it an underlying sense of loss. Excuse me. Fall from Grace is silent for a moment, then nods thoughtfully. Yes, perhaps that is why it felt as it did. I came to terms with the loss long ago, but the name has remained. Are you sure you've come to terms with it? Hey, 1000 XP, let's go! Fall from Grace meets your gaze, and you are once again struck by the brilliant shade of blue of her eyes. It is turbulent, like the ocean before a storm. I had thought so, yet in speaking to you, you have caused me to realize some things. She smiles. You have my thanks. Well, if you want to talk about it, let me know, alright? She nods. You are most kind. I will do so.
Yes?
Okay. Can you tell me what you know about the Sensates? The Sensates are the faction of Sigil that are devoted to experience. Without sensation, we are blinded to much of the multiverse. Thus, Sensates seek to experience as much as possible. When all is experienced, then the truth of the multiverse shall reveal itself. Interesting philosophy. Could I join the Sensates? She smiles. To join the Sensates, one needs only be a student of life. I meant I was interested in joining their faction.
Updated my journal.
Of course, forgive my teasing, Grace nods. If you wish to join the Sensates, I would inquire at the Civic Fest Hall. Someone there should be able to help you. Oh, cool, okay.
Yes?
Do you ever use weapons? No, there is seldom the need, and I find that I cannot bear the touch of cold iron or even steel for long periods of time. In any event, I have a number of natural defenses that tend to discourage attackers, such as...
Updated my journal.
The kiss of a succubus is lethal to mortals, though they rarely realize the danger until their death is almost upon them. Fall from Grace sighs. I can resort to it when the need arises. I see. Some other questions. Oh, can I read your diary? No. Please. Grace gives a slight smile. A lady must have her secrets. Very well then. What do you set up? Can you tell me what you know? Okay.
Yes?
Let's go back to the other questions. Okay. Wanted to talk about our companions. Mort. Mort is most peculiar. I've seen a great deal in my life, but nothing quite like him. He behaves somewhat like a mimir. Granted, there's no denying he is knowledgeable, but he has a certain, she sniffs the air and wrinkles her nose, Batorian smell about him. Batorian smell? Yes, but he's not a Batizu, at least of any variety I've encountered. The smell alone, however, makes me treat the skull with caution. What do you mean when you say Batizu and Batorian? My apologies. Bator is one of the outer planes, the home of a race of fiends called the Batizu. They are evil creatures, yet they are organized and lawful in many of their behaviors. Some might call them devils. They believe in contracts and hierarchy. In many ways, they are like evil bureaucrats. And you could just call them bureaucrats, to be honest. What were you saying about a Batorian smell? Yes, but he's not a Batizu, at least, oh, okay. What were you saying about a Mimir before? Mimirs are encyclopedias of knowledge. The owner may ask them questions, and if they possess the knowledge, they will inform the user of what it knows. And Mort is a Mimir? I don't believe so. Mort lacks the silvery metal that Mimirs customarily have, and he seems to have an attitude of his own. Such qualities are not present in conventional Mimirs. Grace shrugs slightly. He may be one, but he's unlike any I've ever encountered. I see. I wanted to talk about someone else. Me, actually. What did you wish to discuss? To be honest, I'm curious as to your feelings about me. Grace gives a slight smile. A lady must have her secrets. Very well. Do you have any idea who or what I might be? Grace frowns in thought. I freely admit that you are somewhat of an enigma, she smiles. But I find such mysteries intriguing. Shall we attempt to puzzle out your situation? Yes. First, while it is possible that you're a tiefling or some rare crossbreed, my guess is that you are human, or were at one time. Alright, go on. Your appearance is approximately a male in his early 30s. The stitching and scar tissue make an exact determination difficult. Tell me about it. The key to your past is your memory, and it seems that certain locations, events, and people trigger seemingly forgotten memories. It would seem to be in your best interest to visit as many locations as possible, and speak to as many others as possible. In short, experience your universe as much as possible. The sensate's advice, eh? Fall from Grace gives a bemused smile. I would not advise it if I did not practice it, and if you did not already know it to be true. Or maybe something else that would shed light on my situation. Do you know anything else that might prove helpful? Well, shadows keep coming to kill me. I have a feeling they're following me, but I don't know why. There's that, or there's... Well, I think there's someone out to murder me, so much so I built a tomb trap to try and kill them. According to an inscription in the tomb, he's been coming after me for, well, as long as my incarnations can remember, it seems. Now let's go with the first one for now. Shadows. Fall from Grace is silent for a moment. Shadows are shades of the dead. They do not tend to hunt. They tend to lie in wait for victims. Curious. Okay. Let's go with the other one now. Then, whoever the killer is, he's lived a very long time to have pursued you so long. She taps her chin for a moment. Could the killer be immortal as well? Possibly.
Yes?
Okay, I think that's it. Okay, now let's talk to Mort.
Hey, what's eating you, Chief?
Blah, 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 blah. You said you're a Mimir, right, Mort? Yeah, Mimir's a floating encyclopedia. You put information in, you get information out. But aren't Mimirs made of a silvery metal? So, maybe some are, but I'm not. And there are stranger things on the plains than that, Chief. I don't think you're a Mimir, Mort. What are you? What's with the interrogation? What do you know about Mimirs anyway? I know enough to think you're lying to me. First that bit about the missing line from my back saying not to trust you, then this. What am I supposed to think? Okay, I'm not a Mimir, but I know a lot of stuff, so I might as well be one. What are you, then? I'm a floating skull who knows a lot. What about that Batorian smell you have? What would you know about what Bator smells like, unless... Hey, you've been talking about me with that Tanari, haven't you? What does she know? Well, she obviously touched on something that is a Batorian smell, right? Well, yeah, yeah. So I smell a little, excuse me. Why do you smell like Bator? I was in the Hells for a while, kind of a long while. The stench kind of grows on you. We're in the Hells? What were you doing there? Woo! 12,000 XP, let's go! See, well, there's this pillar on Avernus, the first layer of Bator. It's called the Pillar of Skulls, but it's more like the Pillar of Heads. To hear some bashers tell it, it's supposedly made of the heads of Burks, mostly sages and scholars, who used their knowing of this and knowing of that when they were alive to stretch the truth a little. So much they might have hurt or killed someone by doing it. Well, when I died, I ended up there. Funny, huh? Not really. Mort goes silent for a moment. Yeah, you're right, it's not funny at all. You see, I think I knew a lot of things when I was alive, and maybe when I did know something, I didn't always tell the truth about it. I'm thinking that when I bent the truth once or twice, I may have led to someone getting penned in the dead book sooner than they should have. Can you remember who? I can't say how I know it, Chief, but I think it was you. At least once. Thing is, I can't remember what happened. I don't even remember being human. Or what I was even like before I woke up on the pillar. Why did you forget? That's pretty much the way of things when you die, as I'm sure you're no stranger to. You just forget. I figure I wasn't a sterling member of the community when I was alive, but hell's who is? Mort sighs. It's just that I can't help it. Nothing's worse than being honest all the time. Except being sentenced to the hells. That sounds a lot worse than telling the truth. Yeah, you're right. Again. Mort clicks his teeth. The way he does, it reminds you of someone drumming their fingers. I guess just all that good and evil and lying and cheating catches up with you. And when I got penned in the dead book, it was my turn to pay the ferryman. So how did you escape the pillar?
Updated my journal.
Well, you helped me, Chief, when you showed up at the Pillar of Skulls. I pushed my way to the front. My obvious know-how and charm attracted your attention. You knew that I was the head that knew the most. So I cut a deal with you. Deal? As Mort speaks, your vision seems to bleed into a fiery red, and you hear a howling, a horrible screaming tower of voices, chittering, screeching, hammering, all of them begging, screaming to be freed. In Mort's voice, faint, almost lost in the horde, he sounds desperate, frightened, and pathetically, tragically lost. Echo, you, Skull, speak. The howling voices fall silent, and you watch the tiny red-lined skull, its cracked features cast in a hellish light, turn its eyes up at you. Blood and ichor has streamed across its features, and its teeth chatter as if cold. I can help you. I know what you seek. All these heads, all their knowing. Just please, I beg you, free me. Let me help you. I'll tell you anything, everything. Will you? Swear it, Skull. Swear you will serve me until my end days, or here you will remain. I swear, just please, please free me. You watch as Mort sickeningly swallows. His pride, almost a tangible thing. I beg you, let me help you, please. Very well, I shall free you. Your vision slides, as if you are moving, and the howling, screaming cacophony begins again. A nightmarish horde of howls and catcalls and taunts and insults. The feel of your hands sliding into the filthy quagmire of the pillar. The biting of fangs, mandibles, in your hands, locking around the tiny skull and ripping, tearing it from the pillar like an old scab. It is done. You look down at the bloody skull in your scarred hands, its eyes covered in ichor from the pillar, and its teeth chatter once, twice. It reminds you of a wailing newborn, helpless, and in the eyes of the man you once were, pathetic. I have freed you, now your life and your death is mine, Mort. Woo! Another 12,000. Let's fucking go! Your vision swirls, the mists of the past drifting away, and Mort is still chattering on. We talked for a while, Chief, you and me, seeing whether the arrangement would work, and I think we both were really impressed with each other, so you invited me off the pillar. I've kind of been with you ever since. What happened then? Well, I didn't know I'd lost most of the pillar's knowledge once I was out of it. I mean, how was I to know? I'd never been off the damn thing. But you were pretty understanding about it. You lost all the knowledge you said you had? Your vision swirls again, making you dizzy, and you feel your gut churn. You hear the cracking, snapping of bone, and Mort's howls, howling in pain, screaming for someone to stop killing him. And your hand lashing out again and again, and... Damn you, Skull, you lied to me! I'll thrust you back in that damnable pillar and leave you to die there. There's a clatter of bone against what sounds like metal, a floor or a wall, and the skittering of teeth knocked free. You can hear Mort mewling like a beaten dog for you to know that your suffering on the pillar will be nothing to the torment I will make you suffer. Your vision swirls, and Mort's cries ebb, fading into his chattering rhythm. So you realized I still had my uses, so I took up with you, and I've been with you ever since. Mort, what did I want from the pillar, and how long ago was it that I freed you? Mort thinks for a moment. Well, as for how long, I don't know the exact count, Chief. Ages, I suppose. I've done all I could to help you each time, but, Mort sighs, it's not easy. As for what you wanted at the pillar, I don't know. Once you pried me off, I couldn't remember. Mort, why didn't you say something when we were at the mortuary? Mort suddenly becomes defensive. Because I never know who you're going to be. Some of your incarnations have been stark, raving mad. One time you awoke obsessed with the idea that I was your skull, and chased me around the spire trying to shatter and devour me. Luckily, you were crushed by a passing cart in the street. Another good and lawful you tried to thrust me back into the pillar because it's where I belonged. Mort smirks. That's why. Besides, no harm's ever come of you not knowing. So you stayed with me all this time? Well, yeah, Chief. I said I would. Mort always keeps his promises. He pauses. Well, most of them. There was this one shit in Arborea who... You suddenly realize that Mort's tone has changed. Past the joke, you realize he's trying to hide something. Something about why he's with you. Mort, seriously, why are you still traveling with me? Chief, I said it's because I promised, alright? He looks irritated. What else could it be? I don't know. You didn't seem to stick around after I freed you. Or you didn't need to stick around after I freed you. Well, of course not, Chief, but I... And suddenly his tone of voice strikes a chord in you, and you know why he's remained with you all this time. You feel guilty, because you led me to my death so long ago, isn't it? And you've been suffering ever since. Come on, Chief, me feel guilty? I'm Mort. No, I think that's it. When I came to free you from the fate you deserved, you couldn't help but try and help me. And when you could have left after I freed you, you remained, because you felt indebted. Mort is silent for a moment, looking at you. Maybe, you know, what's funny? At first I don't know what that feeling was. It kind of slowly eats at you, you know? I mean, at first I thought it was a side effect of some enchantment that bound me to you. But after a couple hundred years, I realized it was more than that. Something deeper. I just felt drawn, connected to you somehow. Maybe it's all your suffering, Chief, your torment. I don't know. Maybe I felt, I don't know, responsible for whatever it is I did. What if something I did brought you to this state? Thing is, I don't think me, or whoever I was, really ever had to see the consequences of all the lying and cheating I'd done. And when I saw you for the first time when I was trapped on the pillar, somehow I knew that you were the one I'd betrayed. Once long ago, Mort sighs. And that's all I know. I see. Thanks for coming clean, Mort.
Updated my journal.
Holy shit, another 12,000. Oh, strength +4, dexterity +2, constitution +2. Holy shit, that's good. Oh, man. Oh my god, that's awesome. Whew, hell yeah. Nah, don't thank me, Mort sighs, and to your surprise, his voice seems stronger somehow, more confident. Some of the cracks and fractures in his skull have vanished as if healed. Nah, the thanks is all to you. I feel like I just had a plane moved off my shoulders, so to speak. Whew, holy crap. Alright, Mort, let's move on.
I feel stronger.
Yeah, and I level up. Let's go. Alright. 5 in each one. It's never led me astray before. Okay, hell yes. Yeah, so strength is now at 16, intelligence still at 18, but that's going to drop back down to 15 soon. Wisdom 17, dexterity 4, constitution 9. Hell yes. Oh, that is so good. Whew. Okay, that's awesome. We got a lot of good stuff done in this part. But I think that's going to be it, because that was very long. I know it was literally nothing but talking, but oh man, my throat is parched, and it's been like over an hour and a half now, so I definitely need to stop, because that's a full part, at least now that I'm trying to make these shorter and put them out more. I know I haven't been putting them out a ton, but I'm gonna try my best to do better, you know? Try my best to do better, do shorter parts so I can put out more, but we'll see. Either way, definitely be getting stuff done. Oh, and to my viewer that reminded me to get the identify ring, don't worry, I will get that. I haven't forgotten about that. I'm just gonna do that next time. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all had a good time. If you enjoyed them, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, ring the bell, all that good stuff. And I'll see y'all next time.